Hi guys, welcome back to the Creating Dreams channel. My name is Diana and today I'll be showing you my Derwent Inktense pencils and how I use them. Hi guys, welcome back to the Creating Dreams channel. Today I have some great news. I'm going to start a little mini series on all the different art supplies I have in my art arsenal, and I want to start it off with my Inktense pencils from Derwent. I'm going to show you how I use them and I hope you enjoy watching the process. If you do, please leave a like on this video, comment and consider subscribing to my channel for more future videos. Have fun! Hi guys, welcome back. Well, today I want to try something new. I'm going to do a voiceover for this video, so you can have some of my comments, my thoughts and some pointers on the actual use of the materials I'm showing you. Right now I am making a sketch of a design that I want to use my Inktense pencils on. In order to have some variation in the colors and lights and darks, I decided on a peony design. I really love peonies. These are some of my favorite flowers and I actually have some tattooed on me because I really love them. I think they're very nice to draw. I like their shapes, I like the different styles, and I also like making tattoo designs. So the illustration I'm making now is a sort of a tattoo design too. I am using a light pencil for this, an H4 I believe, and I am using a light pencil because it's easy to erase if I want to get rid of some lines, and when I'm done I can easily use my pencils, my Inktense pencils on the drawing and you will no longer really see my lines, which is something that I like and which also makes it easier if you want to use, say, a fine liner in order to give it some more stronger lines later on. Then the pencil doesn't really get into your way. I've drawn 3 peonies and I'm now drawing a moon. I'm having a little trouble with the circle, but seeing as it's from hand, it still turned out nice and round actually. Okay, well, I got my Inktense pencils, I got the first 3 colors. I chose 3 different shades of blue and I'm starting off with the darker parts, which I want blue, which are the outside of the petals. That's also a thing about peony flowers, especially if you draw them in the traditional sense, then you have a different color for the outside of the flower and for the inside of the flower, and usually the outside is darker where the inside is light. So I thought it would be nice to use my blues for the outside, and I'm using a technique like layering, putting the lightest blue at the top and the darkest blue in the deepest part of the flower, so later you'll get a nice shading effect. Okay, now I'm getting my inside colors for the inside of the flowers and I've chosen some nice purples. So I'm again doing the same thing. I am layering it out. Oh no, that's red shades actually, sorry. I'm using red shades. I forgot what this end result looked like. It's been a while since I videoed this, sorry. Okay, so I'm going at it. I'm again putting the darker color inside of the petal so you get a nice shading effect, gives the flower some depth. As you can see, the pencils do cover, but I'm not making them extremely covering like you would if you were only using pencils. So you can still see some of the white underneath the coloring. That makes sense to you. And that is because later on I'm going to be using water on these and then we will no longer see the white, and there's a lot of pigment inside of the pencil, so we don't need to really go hard at it to make it cover all of our paper, like you would if you have like a really nice portrait or something. Also, the paper I'm using is not quite smooth. It's a little textured because we will be using water later, so it's more of a watercolor paper. I believe it's like a go-between, like an all mediums type of paper, so you can use everything on it if you want, and the paper won't budge or become ugly. So I'm still going at it, putting some nice colors in. I think I really like the end result. It's going to be very bright. Right now it's looking a little muted, but that's also because of the pencils, because they are really more bright as you use water. For the leaves I'm also using multiple colors. Like you can see, I'm using a dark green for the inside and a lighter green for the outside. I like that there's multiple leaves. It really gives the whole image some more balance, and I think it looks quite elegant actually. I really like the moon also. I have a moon in my tattoo as well, so maybe that's why I like this design so much. Yeah, still going at it, putting them shades in. Again, going over it with pencil, but not really thickening up on the color, because I'm going to be smoothing it up later anyway with water. Going into the moon with some nice yellow. Now that that's done, I'm showing it up close so you can actually really see the texture of the paper, how much white is still in there because of the paper and because we didn't really color hard. Now I'm going to be using water. As you can see right away, it turns significantly brighter. You also see some of the shading that's in there. I still used a little bit too much pencil, so as you can see, it gets really thick, the paint, because there's so much of the coloring. There's so much pigment in there. But it turns really bright, and it actually really looks like watercolor paint, but it's more close to the gouache paints actually in this case, because I use so much of it. So you can kind of decide for yourself what kind of paint you like. If you like the more watery watercolor, you only need to use like very little of these pencils, and then you get a really nice watercolor effect. Right now it's looking a little more opaque, but that's really nice too. I really like how these colors are turning out, and the shading as well. As you can see, I can also rework a little bit, like you see rough edges I can smooth out with more water. Even if you've wetted it and it has turned dry already, if you come back to it later, you can still actually move a lot of the paint, pick it up, replace it. You can also actually add more pencil later after you've already gone through the wet stage, and then go through it again. So you have the option of layering actually with these pencils. And as you can see, the edge there turned out quite nice because I had less of the coloring there. And I can smooth it out, as you can see. And if you work it a bit more with your brush, you get like a real watercolor effect, like you'd have used normal paints, you'd got the same. But you can also leave it a bit, and then you still have that pencil texture that shines through from where you drew with your pencils. So that's also nice. So you have options with these. They're quite diverse. And you can get a lot of different colors too. You can mix and match, and I've got like a smaller set. There's one larger one, but I never really felt like I had too little colors or that I needed to have more. what I have is what I like using, and also because I have one of those traveling kits that you can take them anywhere, makes them really perfect for use outside the house. They're very practical, and because if you're like a field painter or something and you want to make a little abstract or some scenery you want to draw and paint on the spot, if you have a box of watercolor paints, you'll get a mess no matter what you do. If it's there, or when you get back home and you open your box up again, it'll be completely smeared with all the different paints and water, because it's much harder to clean it up and much harder to use in the field. Even the little field boxes sometimes still get messy. But with this, you have complete control over your coloring and over the mess you make. Because of the pencils, you're not well, you have like a water brush, the brush I'm using, and so you don't have water anywhere. You could just roll up your set and go. I don't know, I just really like the practicality of this. And it's also like if you're somewhere and you've sat down and you're in the middle of something and then suddenly you have to go, like, oh my god, I'm missing the bus, I need to get going, blah blah blah. Then you just pick up all your stuff, throw it in your bag, and you can go, and there's no mess. I don't know, that's just so practical to me, because I kind of have chaos in my life constantly. I don't know, it sounds practical, it is practical. It's just a practical tool for people that want to use them on the go, but also if you like drawing at home and you have limited space, you can just pick these up and put them anywhere. And I have got a watercolor set. Don't get me wrong, I love my watercolor paints, but to go out and to sit down somewhere, it's not that practical, because you don't have a table with you. At least I don't have a table with me. I thought about taking a table with me, but it was too heavy. No, I've tried different stuff. I also tried like a picnic. Put like a picnic blanket down and then put all your stuff on there and just sit down, but I don't know, it takes so much more effort. It's a little effortless, these pencils, in taking them with you, and the use is easy, and I don't know, I really like them. And if you like watercolor pencils in general, then you'll also know that most watercolor pencils, the cheaper they are, the worse they are. Like, they don't really turn into the paint and you get like scratchy, weird stuff. I've had some really bad cheap watercolor pencils, so anyone who's bought them under like 10 bucks or 10 euros, you know what I'm talking about. You got the bad ones. Well, I haven't actually ever bought the really expensive ones, and the Inktense pencils I actually got as a birthday gift after asking for them. But the first thing that really surprised me about them is how well it turns into paint, and you can really just paint with it, and that's great in my opinion. And here we have the finished piece. I'm actually really happy with this. I hope you like how it turned out. I really like the coloring, and I hope you liked my weird voiceover. So this was my drawing with Inktense pencils. I hope you had fun watching me draw with them, and I hope you learned something about the process working with Inktense pencils. I'm going to be making more of these videos on my art supplies, and I hope you join me watching them in the future. If you want to, please subscribe to my channel so you know when the next video is up. If you like this video, please like it here as well, and consider commenting to let me know exactly which parts you liked and which parts you didn't, so I can improve in the future. For now, I hope you all have a nice day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!